numerical problem on design of bush and pin type flexible coupling. Here you can see an exploded view of a typical bush and pin type flexible coupling. Here we have the pin over which we have bush, and this is the flange, and this is the hub. Here on the other side we have nuts, you can see, and here we have cross section of a typical bush and pin type coupling. So here we have pin from here to there. This is smaller diameter of the pin, this is larger diameter of the pin, over which we have bush, that is inside we can have brass bush, over which we have rubber bush. D is the bore diameter, this for shaft, and D1 is the hub diameter, and D2 is the board circle diameter, and D3 is the outside diameter of the flange. So here you can see this represent shaft diameter, hub diameter, board circle diameter, and the outside diameter of the flange. Here shaft diameter, hub diameter, and then board circle diameter and the outside diameter of the flange. This is the length of the hub or hub length. Let us solve a typical problem. Here you have a question. Design a bush type of flanged coupling to transmit 20 kW at 2000 rpm. Draw any sketch of the coupling. Maximum torque to be transmitted is 30% more than the mean torque. First thing what we do is to write the data, that is given thing. So power P is equal to 20 kW, speed N is equal to 2000 rpm, maximum torque is equal to 30% greater than T mean, that is T maximum is equal to 1.3 times T mean. Since material for shafts, boards and key is not given, let us take C45 steel for shafts and boards and C50 steel for key. From the table I.8, page 464 of the Design Data Handbook authored by Professor Mahadevan and Professor Balavira Reddy, 4th edition. For shafts and boards, we have C45 steel whose yield stress or yield strength is 353 Newton per millimeter squared. Similarly, for keys, we have C50 steel whose yield strength is 373 Newton per millimeter squared. Let us assume a factor of safety 2.5. So maximum stress for both shaft and boards, in this case it is pin, sigma maximum is equal to sigma y by FOS, that is 353 divided by 2.5. So we get 141.2 Newton per millimeter squared. So maximum shear stress can be taken as half of sigma maximum, that is 70.6 Newton per millimeter squared. That is nothing but the shear stress in the shaft and also in the board. This is actually allowable stresses in the shaft and the board material. Similarly, for key, we have sigma maximum is equal to sigma y by FOS, that is 149.2 Newton per millimeter squared. 373 divided by 2.5 is 149.2 Newton per millimeter squared. This is crushing stress. Shear stress of the key, maximum shear stress, can be taken as half of crushing stress. This is half into 149.2, that is 74.6 Newton per millimeter squared. Solution. Step 1. Calculation of the torque. Torque T is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into power divided by speed. After substitution and simplification, we get torque T is equal to 95,500 Newton millimeter. This is actually mean torque. As per the given condition, maximum torque is equal to 1.3 times mean torque. So hence maximum torque is obtained as 1,24,150 Newton millimeter. This value must be used while calculating diameter of the shaft and in other calculations. Step 2. Diameter of the shaft. D is equal to 16 into T maximum divided by pi into eta into tau s whole to the power of 1 by 3. After substitution, you know that eta is nothing but a key wave factor, that's 0.75, and tau s is the allowable shear stress in the shaft material, that is 70.6. So after substituting all these values, we get diameter D is equal to 22.86 millimeter. From table 3.5, page 57, we select a standard shaft size as 25 mm. Here on page number in that particular 4th edition data handbook, see, after 22 mm we have 25 as the standard shaft size. So 25 mm is taken. Step 3 is calculation of number of bolts or pins. So I is equal to 0.02 times the diameter of the shaft plus 3. So we get 3.5. So let us take I is equal to 4. Number of pins or bolts is equal to 4. Step 4. Bolt diameter or pin diameter here. That is actually diameter of the pin at the neck, because see, the pin diameter varies. From here to here it is smaller, and from there to there it is larger. Okay, so here we calculate diameter of the pin at the neck. The smaller diameter we are calculating. Diameter of the pin at the neck, dp, that is 0.5 times diameter of the shaft divided by square root of number of bolts. So we get 6.25 mm. So let us take diameter of the pin as 8 mm. So usually, in the standard couplings which are available in the market, you see here we have coupling numbers as B1, B2, B3, B4, B5 like that and all. So you see here bolt diameter dp, so is 8, 10, 12, 16, 18 like that, it is there. That means they have taken even number here, so we shall take 8 mm instead of taking 7 mm. We have taken 8 mm. So dp is equal to 8 mm. Next, larger diameter of the pin. This one is assumed as 1.5 times dp. So we get 1.5 into 8 as 12 mm. This d is 12 mm. Okay, so next step 6, hub diameter. D1 is equal to 1.5 times diameter of the shaft plus 25 mm. We get D1 is equal to 62.50 mm. Bolt circle diameter, that is step 7. D2 is equal to 2 times D plus 50. D2 is equal to 100 mm. Then outside diameter of flange, D3 is equal to 2.5 times D plus 75. That is 137.50 mm. Next, hub length is equal to 1.25 times D plus 20 mm. We get 51.25 mm. So let us take 52 mm. Step 10. So in order to find out outside diameter of rubber bush D prime, this one is the D prime. You see this D prime, this is diameter, outer diameter of the pin, and then we have two bushes. One is brass bush, the other one is a rubber bush. So here for the brass bush thickness, so from here to here brass bush thickness, from there to there we have a rubber bush thickness. So thickness for the brass bush can be taken as 2 mm and for the rubber bush as a 10 mm. Standard values, minimum say rubber bush thickness is 10 mm and this one 2 mm we considered. So thickness, so outer diameter D prime is equal to, that is larger diameter of the pin plus 2 times thickness, this one plus this one, we get D prime. Brass bush thickness plus rubber bush thickness, two side is there, no? That's why it's multiplied by 2. So 2 plus 10 is 12, 12 into 2 is 24, 24 plus 12 36. D is the outer diameter, larger diameter of the pin. So because we have taken as 1.5 times the diameter of the pin at the neck. So we get 12 mm. So now we got outer diameter of the bush as a 36 millimeter. Step 12, force at each pin. F is equal to 2 times torque divided by I into D2. So here torque is a maximum torque we need to consider, T maximum only we have to consider. So after substituting the values and simplifying, we get force F is equal to 620.75 Newton. Next, step 13, length of rubber bush. To find length of rubber bush, we have L is equal to F divided by PB into D prime. PB is allowable pressure on the bush, can be assumed as 1 MPa. That's nothing but 1 Newton per millimeter squared. So force 620.75, PB is 1 and D prime is 36. We get L, that is length of a rubber bush as 17.24. So let us take 18 mm. This is L, length of a rubber bush. You know that the thickness of flange is almost same as length of the rubber bush. So hence step 14. So thickness of flange is equal to length of the rubber bush, that is equal to 18 mm. See here. Ear to ear flange thickness, no? So same length of the rubber bush. The clearance is very small, so you can neglect that. That's why it is almost equal, I have mentioned. So yeah, thickness of flange is almost equal to length of the rubber bush, 18 mm. Next, step number 15, check for stresses in the pin. Shear stress in the pin, tau P is equal to 4F divided by pi dP squared. That's the force by area only. That area is pi d square by 4. That what we have written here. So after substitution, we get after substitution and simplifying it, we get 12.35 Newton per millimeter square as the shear stress induced in the pin, which is less than the allowable stress. Allowable stress in the pin or in the bolt is 70.6 Newton per millimeter square. Hence, pin is safe in shear. Let us check in bending. Okay, second one, bending stress in the pin, that is B. Sigma B is equal to 16 Fl divided by pi dP cubed. After substitution, okay, that is F is 620.75 and L is 18 mm and dP is 8 mm, and simplifying we get 111.14 Newton per millimeter squared bending stress in the pin. So bending stress in the pin is 111.14 Newton per millimeter square, but allowable stress is 141.2 Newton per millimeter squared in the pin or in the bolt. So hence the pin is safe in bending also. Next, see maximum normal stress induced in the pin. Sigma maximum is equal to sigma b by 2 plus square root of sigma b by 2 whole square plus tau square p. So here bending stress, that's why normal stress is the bending stress here, that's why suffix b we have used. Otherwise you can also write sigma by 2 plus square root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. So just to say that it is pin shear stress, I have used the suffix p here. So after substitution and simplification we get sigma induced, that is maximum stress is 112.49 Newton per millimeter squared, which is less than 141.2 Newton per millimeter square. Allowable maximum stress, normal stress is 141.2 Newton per millimeter square, but induced is 112.49 Newton per millimeter square. So hence safe. So maximum shear stress induced in the pin, tau p maximum induced is equal to square root of sigma b by 2 whole square plus tau square p or tau p square. After substitution and simplification we obtain a shear stress, maximum shear stress induced is 56.92 Newton per millimeter square, which is less than the allowable shear stress, that is allowable shear stress is 70.6 Newton per millimeter, hence safe. Step 16, design of key. You know that the length of the key is equal to length of the hub. Length of the hub is 52 millimeter. So we can consider length of the key as length of the hub as 52 millimeter. And from table 4.1 page 69 for shaft diameter D is equal to 25 mm, we have width of key B is equal to 8 mm and thickness H is equal to 7 mm. So now let us say after selecting these values, we will check for the stresses. First shear stress induced in the key, tau key is equal to 2 times T divided by B into diameter of the shaft. P is width, diameter of the shaft and the length of the key. Okay, so induced shear stress is 23.875 Newton per millimeter square. After simplification we obtain this value. This is less than the allowable shear stress in the key, that is allowable shear stress in the key is 74.6 Newton per millimeter square, that already have taken. That means by selecting the material and assuming the factor of safety, you got maximum normal stress and half of the maximum normal stress is considered as a maximum shear stress, the 74.6 for the key. Okay, see here for the key. Next we have crushing stress induced in the key. Sigma c is equal to 40 divided by HDN. So H is thickness of the key, we have substituted. After substituting all the values, so we obtain crushing stress as 54.57 Newton per millimeter squared, which is less than 149.2 Newton per millimeter squared. This is allowable crushing stress or maximum stress in the key material. So hence the key is safe in crushing also. Therefore the dimensions of the key are 8 by 7 by 52. That is width, thickness and length. Next step 17, check for shear stress in the flange. So we have the torque capacity based on shear of flange, same as that of rigid flange, rigid coupling equation. So shear stress induced in the flange, this tau is there, no? That we call here as tau F, that is shear stress induced in the flange, that is 2 times T divided by pi d1 square T. Let us assume flange material as Fg200 from table I.4 page 461. Ultimate tensile strength for Fg200 is 200 Newton per millimeter squared. So Fg300 means 300 is the ultimate strength, tensile strength of the material. So the number indicates its ultimate tensile strength. So let us assume factor of safety is 4 because it's a brittle material. Taking a larger value of factor of safety is better. So we obtain maximum stress as a 50 Newton per millimeter squared. Let us assume allowable shear stress, tau allowable is equal to 0.4 times the sigma maximum. This is actually cast iron. That's why we have taken 0.4 times the sigma maximum for allowable shear stress. So we got 20 Newton per millimeter squared. That is shear stress, allowable shear stress in the flange, tau F. Now let us calculate shear stress induced in the flange by using that equation. After substituting the values, okay, we obtain shear stress induced as 1.124 Newton per millimeter squared. So inducer shear stress is much less than the allowable shear stress, so design is safe. In the last step, especially for this particular problem, they also asked to draw an E-sketch. You draw an E-sketch of this one or this one. Okay, but you have to show this rim thickness also can be taken as 0.25 times D. But usually, you know, the thickness of the flange is taken as 0.25 times D. It would be better take say 0.125 times diameter of the shaft as the thickness of this ring, in case if you wish to show. Thank you.